Hello, today I will show you how to install Zorin OS 18, but before we begin, I have some requirements. First of all, you must already know the basics, such as how to access the BIOS or boot menu. Secondly, you must have Secure Boot disabled in the BIOS. This video does not include how to do this with Secure Boot. If you don't know the things I just mentioned, search for them on YouTube or the internet. And thirdly and finally, you must have a USB flash drive with at least 8 GB of storage. A 4 GB one would also be fine, but I recommend 8 GB. Make sure it's not an important flash drive, because during one of the steps everything on it will be deleted, so make sure it's not important. That said, I hope you're ready. Listen and watch carefully, and do everything very carefully so you don't make any serious mistakes. With that said, let's begin. To begin with, let's disable fast startup so that we can still use Windows partitions on Zorin OS. Then search for and open Control Panel. Go to System and Security, select Power Options, select Choose what the power button does, and click on the text change settings that are currently unavailable. For some reason, I don't have this option, but if you see it, you need to deselect it and then click on Save Changes. After that, we can move on to the next step. Now it's time to disable BitLocker so that you can create partitions for Zorin OS. For users with Windows 11 Home, open Settings and go to Privacy and Security. You should see an option called Device Encryption. I don't have it because I have Windows 11 Pro, but if you see it, select it and disable it. You will receive a warning. Accept everything and continue until it is disabled. For Windows 11 Pro, search for and open Control Panel, select System and Security, and select BitLocker Drive Encryption. I only have the C partition encrypted. If you have more than one, choose the one you want to reduce for Zorin OS, or do them all so you can use them on Zorin OS as well. Click on Turn Off BitLocker. A notification will appear. Click on it to see the decryption status. The speed will depend on how fast your storage is and how much you have used. It could take a few minutes, such as 5 or even 1 hour or more if you have used 300 GB. At the end, you will see a message saying that it is complete. Click on Close and move on to the next step. Now you need to create a partition for Zorin OS. To do this, download AOMEI Partition Assistant. To avoid any problems, all web pages and tools are available via links in the description. Click on the freeware download button. Finally, open the installer and install the program, trying to skip all the offers and advertisements in the program because they are not needed in our case. Open the program by accepting as administrator, select the desired partition, usually the Windows partition, and click on Resize/Move Partition. The minimum for Zorin OS is 20 GB, but I want to give it 64 GB. Using the trigger, I can choose how much space to leave empty for Zorin OS. If you have an SSD, I recommend selecting the option Allow Partition Alignment to optimize the performance of SSD. Finally, click on OK. After that, click Apply, and then Proceed. At this point, if you know you have a RAID, use Pre-OS, but if you have a normal computer like mine, leave it as it is and click OK. Now it will create Windows PE, which will take a minute or two. When it's finished, your computer will restart, Windows will load, and then you will see this screen where the program will do its work. When it's finished, it will notify you that it's done and ask you to restart. Click on Restart Now, and Windows will load normally. Reopen the program as administrator to check if there is now unallocated space. As you can see, I have 64 GB of unallocated space. Leave it as it is, close the program, and move on to the next step. If you don't notice any changes, try this step again. Now it's time to create the installation USB stick. On this page, click on the blue download button. If you want to buy and download the Pro version, I choose Core, then scroll down, click on the blue download button, and click on the text skip to download. While our ISO file is downloading, let's download Rufus to write the ISO file to our USB stick. Scroll down and choose the version you want to download. I'll choose the portable version, and now just wait for everything to download. Once everything has downloaded, open your File Explorer and go to Downloads, open Rufus as administrator and configure if necessary. In this screen, insert your USB stick, then click on Select the Zorin OS ISO file, and click on Open. Finally, click on Start and accept all warnings. The process will then begin. It will take a few minutes or more, depending on the speed of your USB stick. At the end of the process, it will say Ready, so click on Close and move on to the next step. Now it's time to install Zorin OS, so you need to shut down your computer. Once it's shut down, turn it back on and repeatedly press the boot menu key. In the boot menu, select your USB stick. It may have a strange name like Limpus Lite or Grub. You can also set it as the first boot option in the BIOS if you have problems with the boot menu. This is Grub, where you can choose various startup options. If you have an NVIDIA video card, select the third option, Try, or install Zorin Os modern NVIDIA drivers. Otherwise, go with the first option. If you notice problems such as graphics glitches or similar, use the second option, Try, or install Zorin Os Safe Graphics. In my case, I choose the first option. When booting from a USB stick, it will take a few minutes to start up and will be slow in general. On this screen, you can choose to try Zorin Os or install Zorin Os. In my case, I want to try Zorin Os to fix my resolution. You must also connect to the internet. You can do this via cable, as in my case, or via Wi-Fi or USB tethering. An internet connection is required for installation. Reopen the installer, located at the top left. On this screen, you need to configure your language and keyboard layout. Leave everything as it is here, and continue. This screen is the most crucial one. Don't make any mistakes because you risk deleting Windows and everything else you have on your computer. But if you want to do that, there is the option Erase Disk and install Zorin Os. If that is your intention, in my case I want to do a dual boot, but I prefer to partition and do everything manually, so I choose the option Something Else and click on Continue. Here you will see all your storage devices. In my case, I only have one NVMe0 N1. Find the unallocated partition you created on Windows. Here, the size is shown in megabytes, not gigabytes, so find an unallocated partition in megabytes with a size similar to the one you created on Windows. In my case, it is the unallocated partition below NVMe0 N1P3, so I select it and click on the plus button. I want to create a swap partition so that when your RAM is full, it will use your swap partition and therefore your storage. Some programs require it, otherwise they don't work properly or at all. In fact, Zorin Os creates a swap file by default, but it's only 4 gigabytes, which isn't much, so I create an 8 gigabyte swap partition. In the size field, I enter the correct number in binary, which is 8192, but you can also enter 8000, although the binary number is better. In use as, I select swap area and finally click on OK. Now reselect the main partition. In my case, it is now under NVMe0 N1P5 under the swap partition. If you notice, it has obviously become smaller, so reselect it and click on the plus button again. This time, do not change the size or use as always unless you want to or need to. I leave it as it is and only on the mount point I select the slash, after which I click on OK. It will automatically detect the boot partition. In this case, mine is NVMe0 N1P1, which is the Windows partition. It will install its Grub bootloader alongside the Windows bootloader. If you want or need to, you can create your own. However, if everything is fine, click on Install Now. Otherwise, click Revert or close the installer and reopen it to start over. For me, everything is fine as I have done, so I click Install Now. It will give you a warning about the changes you have made, and if everything is fine, click Continue. Just continue with your configuration. At the end, you will see a screen like this. This is the actual installation. Do not remove the USB stick or anything else. Leave it as it is and wait for it to finish. It should take 5 to 10 minutes or even longer. It all depends on how fast your computer and internet connection are. At the end, you will receive a message telling you that it is finished. Click on Restart Now. It will ask you to remove the USB stick. Do so and press Enter. When you restart, you should see a screen like this. If you don't, go to the BIOS and in the boot order section, find an entry named Ubuntu, Grub, or Zorin Os and put it in first place. Alternatively, you can always choose from the boot menu at each startup or whenever you prefer. In this screen, you can choose various startup options such as starting Zorin Os, Windows, or something else. I choose the first option, Zorin Os. This is what you will see the first time. If you want, you can watch this tour. It's a little interesting, but anyway, the most important thing to do now is to update. First, connect to the internet, open Settings, scroll down to the bottom, select System, and then select Software Updates. Here he will look for updates. Once found, click on Install Now and wait for everything to download and install. As usual, it all depends on the speed of your computer and internet connection. I know it may seem strange, but that's how it is. All Debian-based systems, including Zorin Os, Ubuntu, and Linux Mint, do not install the latest updates during the operating system installation, so you have to do it yourself after you have installed the operating system. Once it has finished, click on the OK button. It does not say to restart, but I recommend restarting your computer after an update like this, so please restart now. That was the last step. Now, as you can see, I can finally use Zorin Os. For example, I can browse the internet very smoothly and quickly, watch cat videos on YouTube without any problems, and best of all, play games like Roblox or even more demanding ones. The most interesting thing is that Roblox is a game that relies heavily on RAM. Zorin Os is a lightweight system, so even if I had 4 gigabytes of RAM, it would still be a very smooth experience compared to Windows, and Roblox would run as it does now. This was how to install Zorin Os, but if you want everything to go back to how it was before, with just Windows, here's how to do it. In Grub, choose to start Windows, or from the boot menu if you prefer. Search for and open Create and Format Hard Disk Partitions. You need to delete the Zorin Os partitions. Select the swap partition, right-click, and select Delete Volume. Accept the warnings. Do the same with the main partition. Select the partition where you allocated space for Zorin Os. Right-click and select Extend Volume. Then simply click Next and finally finish. You should now have all your space and partitioning back as before. The last thing to remove is Grub, the Zorin Os bootloader, located in the EFI boot partition. Search for Command Prompt and select Run as Administrator. Execute the disk part command, then execute list disk. The disk must be the one where you installed Windows, or the one with the EFI partition. In my case, it is disk 0, which is also the only one available. Run the command select disk, followed by the number of your disk. Run the command list partition. The EFI partition is called System and is usually 100 or 200 megabytes in size. In my case, it is partition 1. Run the command select partition followed by the number of your system partition. Run the command assign letter equal S and run the command exit. Run the command S:, run the command djar, then run cdfi, then run djar again. Here you will find various folders. The one to delete is only named Ubuntu, but it could also be called Grub or Zorin Os. In my case, it is called Ubuntu. Do not delete Microsoft and boot because Windows will no longer start up. Use the command rmdir/s/q and the name of the Grub bootloader folder, in my case Ubuntu. Run djar again to see which folders are available. As you can see, I now only have the 2 Windows folders. If you have the same result as me, you can now close the terminal and Zorin Os has been completely and successfully removed. If you open File Explorer and go to this PC, the partition will be visible as you can see. To fix this problem, simply restart your computer. And after restarting, as you can see, the partition is no longer visible. That was how to install Zorin Os and also how to remove it. If you've watched this far and it worked, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell. Thank you very much for watching and for your time, but I think it's time to say goodbye. I wish you an excellent year. Goodbye.